Numerical value 10. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things and bring to you remembrance all things that I said to you. John 14:26. Iota is a beautiful number because, like the Holy Spirit, it may appear insignificant and is often invisible, but in actuality is ubiquitous and powerful. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of a dawn, if I dwell in the remotest part of the sea, even there your hand will lead over me, and your right hand will lay hold of me. If I say, surely the darkness will overwhelm me, and the light around me will be night, even the darkness is not dark to you, and the night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are alike to you. Psalms 139:7. Iota may be the smallest letter of the Greek alphabet, but in Greek numerals, iota represents the powerful value of 10. The number 10 represents perfection and productivity. In like manner, the Holy Spirit is God's perfection and gives his servants great productivity. In mathematics, it is the root of our numerical system. The reason for this choice is assumed to be that humans have 10 fingers or digits. The number 10 is a powerful and productive number because the value of any integer can be increased tenfold simply by adding a 0 to the end of it. And interestingly, the Chinese numeral for 10 is a cross. And of course, the number 10 is repeated throughout the history of God. For the Israelites were instructed to give 1/10 of their produce to God. And God's finger wrote on stone the 10 Commandments. And God inflicted Egypt with 10 plagues. Therefore, just as the iota represents numerical power, perfection, and productivity, the Holy Spirit represents godly power and perfection and spiritual productivity. In other words, the gifts of the Spirit produce great power through the fruits of our labor. For our gospel do not come to you in word only, but also in power and in the Holy Spirit. 1 Thessalonians 1:5. Iota is also used as a marker of pronunciation by diphthongs. Before the development of the classical Greek alphabet, there was no way of distinguishing between long and short vowels. Thus diphthongs, or iotas, were added to the words to distinguish the pronunciation of these vowels. And these iotas can be seen throughout various languages, including the Czech, Dutch, English, Faroese, Finnish, French, German, Hungarian, Icelandic, Italian, Latvian, Northern Sami, Norwegian, Portuguese, Romanian, and Spanish languages. So just as the iota has ubiquitously influenced the pronunciation of many languages, so has the Holy Spirit ubiquitously penetrated the voice of all nations. But whatever is given to you in that hour, speak that, for it is not you who speak, but the Holy Spirit. Mark 13:11. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. Acts 2:4. The iota has also penetrated the written languages and the artistry of the world. The iota was written as an iota subscript in the original languages. The iota subscript is a way of writing the letter iota as a small vertical stroke beneath a vowel. Eventually, they became incorporated as serifs, or non-strocal details on the ends of strokes that make up letters and symbols. These embellishments were also incorporated into the Asian and Aramaic written languages. Thus, just as the iota has penetrated all the written and artistic languages, so has the Holy Spirit penetrated the written and artistic languages of all the nations. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom and understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to design artistic works, to work in gold, in silver, in bronze, in cutting jewels for setting, in carving wood, and to work in all manner of workmanship. Exodus 31:3. And like the letter of the languages of the nations, our hearts have become the letter of the Spirit. You are our letter, written in our hearts, known and read by all men, being manifested that you are a letter of Christ, cared for by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on tablets of human hearts. 2 Corinthians 3:2. For assuredly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle will by no means pass from the law until all is fulfilled. Matthew 5:18. And this is the one scriptural passage that deals directly to the letter iota. Jot translates to iota in Greek, and is paraphrased as not one iota of difference. This was the foundation of the theological debate at the First Council of Nicaea regarding the holy nature of the Trinity. The argument centered on which of two Greek words, differing only by one single iota, should be used to distinguish Jesus' relationship in the Holy Trinity. One word, homoousios, meant that God was of the same substance as God, the Father, and the other, homoiousios, meant that Jesus was of a similar substance. The verdict, of course, was that they are homoousios. They are all of the same substance. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are three in one, the Holy Trinity. And the numerical value of the Greek symbols that pertain to the Trinity thus are as follows. Alpha is equal to 1. Pi is equal to 80. Iota is equal to 10. Omega is equal to 800. If a trinity is 1, then alpha times pi times iota should equal omega. And thus 800 is equal to 1 times 80 times 10. Yes, 800 is equal to 800. Thus, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are one. Finally, in mathematics, the imaginary unit iota allows the real numerical system to be extended into the complex numerical system. Real numbers are those numbers that can be represented by real numerical values. In other words, numbers that exist in the real world. Complex numbers are also called imaginary numbers, and represent those numbers which were once thought to be non-existent, but presently are utilized to understand quantum physics and the theory of relativity. The numerical value of an imaginary unit is iota is equal to the square root of -1, which is impossible by the real value number mathematics. In other words, they are numbers that presently do not exist in our physical world, but do exist in another room, i.e., a parallel universe, a realm that we do not yet understand. Thus, as the imaginary unit iota in mathematics is used to transcend numbers from a real set of values into an imaginary set of values, so does the Holy Spirit transcend mankind from the mortal realm of this earth to the eternal realm of the Father's kingdom. Immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was standing in heaven, and one sitting on the throne. Revelation 2:4. And remember this formula for the future. Euler's formula. Solve this formula, and you unlock the mysteries of God